And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And the title of the video is This Will Explode Quant in 2024. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos, and just tickle that like button for me because you'll be doing me a massive favor. Remembering I'm not a financial advisor, none of this is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. Also, none of the information provided in this video should ever be taken as a signal to buy or to sell. But first and foremost, we look at Arkham Intelligence, and as you can see, we're just below that $119. We've seen a bit of up and down over the weekend, but we are down 0.95% in the last 24 hours, up 7.37% in the last 7 days, and up 5% in the last 30 days. And 24-hour volume quite low from what we saw over the Christmas period, where we hit that 150 million trading volume in 24 hours. We're down to that 20 million, which is quite low considering what we've seen over the last few weeks or so. Now, if we go over and look at what's going on in the exchange reserves, we can see it's slightly hiked to 1.393 million, which is a slight increase. But we can also see the exchange flow. Net deposits on exchanges are low compared to the last 7 days, but we're seeing the exchange reserves rise. Relative strength index still sitting around neutral, as we can see the same with the stochastic, but we look at this from Construction Trader ETH, and this is what we're talking about today. The things that we need to focus on over the next year, things we don't know about, things that we're unsure about. And I think the first one is the gateways, because a lot of people ask me this question constantly, over and over and over again. There's a few things that need to play out, first of all, which we're going to discuss in a moment. And I think if things play out the way they should, hopefully we could see something like that this year. Construction Trader ETH, listen to Quant CEO Verdian talk here, take it in and digest it. HTTP was created by IETF. TCP IP was created by IETF. Both revolutionary to the internet. Now we have SATP, which will be the standard for all gateway connectivity created by Quant and the IETF. Now, this is really important. I believe before we can move into gateway staking, SATP needs to be live. So let's have a listen to this.
We all have inherited a very fragmented domestic payment system in each country. And the very nature of sovereignty has not allowed payment flows to be cross-border very easily from the outset as they were designed. So having that as a baseline, how do we integrate different domestic payment systems with each other so that you can have
but just to be clear, is the SATP is like a technical standard, is it?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've worked with MIT and we've created within the IETF, so Internet Engineering Task Force, which is where the home of TCP IP, HTTP, everything kind of sits within the IETF. So the SATP was approved, and that is a working group to create an RFC, a request for comment, which basically is a document for a protocol. And the whole thesis behind what needs solving is the gateway to gateway interconnectivity between networks. So if you treat a domestic payment system as a single network, you want to connect the UK network to the European network, to the US network, etc. The gateways are the ones that are going to do all the work between networks. And so SATP solves that problem by having the routing between gateways, the discoverability, and then the transactions between gateways. So having a globally accepted standard and a globally accepted protocol is a great way to integrate and interoperate different jurisdictions and different networks with a common language.
So absolutely amazing. Now, we know that gateways pose an important part of the tokenomics of the Quant network. And once this plays out, obviously SATP coming out, and then we'll see, hopefully, the gateways follow. Now, I see this from Confidential, not to mention the convergence with the halving, quantitative easing by central banks, regulatory crackdown on crypto, SATP deadline in H1 2024, possibly gateway staking, overledger dashboard. Quant will be one of the best performing assets in the coming run. And I absolutely agree. There's got so much up their sleeve that if SATP goes out this year, then it's almost certain in my mind that we get gateways and gateway staking. Now, I see this from CryptoSec, and this is an old post in 2021, and it says here, max supply 14.6 million, no inflation, upcoming release of Overledger, which we've seen. Quant taken out the circulation through OVL license, which is something else we're questioning. So it's another question. We've got gateways, we've got the lockups. So gateway licenses, gateway operators locking up Quant for staking, Quant locked up in payment channels, supply, demand, and then we see price. Then we see this from Tokenizer, gifting us a little bit of Christmas joy, which we saw over the Christmas period, moving on its own accord in classic Quant style. SATP, TC307, the BIS, the CBDC narrative, all in progress coming in 2024. Here's to ending the year absolutely as we wanted it to. So things getting very, very exciting. So SATP, and then gateways. We also have the CBDC narrative, everything playing out. Now, we also see this from Confidential again. SATP is on a tight delivery schedule mid 2024. I wonder why. OFC, I'm not. So here we go. And we see this from Lars Eggert's IETF SATP, which is, hi Thomas. It was not Lars who gave you a vote of confidence. It was me, outside observer of SATP from the very beginning. I would prefer to focus on the technical drafts, architecture, and core protocol because we have a very tight delivery schedule mid 2024. It's a little over 1 year away. So this was a while back. So I'm glad that Wes and Claire, who have also been active since day one, are co-chairing SATP. So things are moving so quickly. And with SATP moving forward, we may see the light for gateways, gateway staking to come very, very soon and not long after. We also see this from Greg Lunt. This again was in January 2023, and forming an IETF working group will be great accomplishment for SATP, but it's just the beginning. It won't be until 2024-25 before we see a published standard. Now, as we've seen, it's moving forward very, very quickly. And Gilbert Verdian describes SATP ODAP will lead to Quant gaining early market share in the DLT interoperability. So let's have a listen to this.
So this is our way of establishing that mainstream adoption and creating this global ecosystem and this global network of networks where everyone can bring their own network. It could be private, it could be blockchain networks, it could be permissionless. And having the gateways, an ODAP gateway, you'll be able to access the rest of the network. And so for us, Overledger Gateway is the first ODAP gateway that's being built because we're at the forefront of that technology. There will be others later on, but we're the first out of the gate.
Absolutely brilliant. Because you've got to remember, Overledger is an expression of the standards SATP will put forth through the IETF. Their standard, their internet guidelines are globally respected and implemented. So we just have to wait and be patient like we have for a very long time. But once these things come into play, I'm sure we're going to see a massive spike in price. But again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So there you go, guys. Just a quick update to let you know what's possible and what's possibly coming in 2024. I'm excited and I hope you are. All the best, and I'll catch you later.